Right, well, last vlog I said hopefully next time I'm filming or on my next video I'll be a 3 times CrossFit Games athlete, but I'm not. I didn't even finish the Torian Pro. So I've got some notes down for like what happened and so I don't get off track, but I'm going to go over what happened, then the last chance qualifier, what's next for me, and where I think I would have finished. So we'll just get straight into it, straight into Friday. We'll go just before event 1. So going into this event, I was super nervous. Let's just say that. Way more nervous than normal. I don't know why, I wasn't nervous or worried that I wasn't gonna make the games or anything. I was just more so worried that I was gonna get left in the dust by Jay and Ricky, because they looked good in online semis and Jay looked good at the WFP, and then Ricky was sick, but I knew that he wanted to do something at Torian. So last year I finished second, and it was a race between the 3 of us for like every event. So I wanted it to be like that, except I wanted to potentially win the competition because there was a big check, which would have been nice. So I was going into the competition basically being like, don't give up any points to anyone else unless it's Ricky or Jay. And I knew that if I just was battling with these guys, I could win because a lot of the events were good for me. But anyway, I was super nervous for event 1. Couldn't eat, just felt super out of it. I just wanted the event done. And I knew it was going to hurt because my running, I would say it was all right. It wasn't as good as it could have been because I was working a lot on barbell cycling and not so much running, because I kind of was like, my running's all right. It was good enough. Anyway, going into the event, ran out, meet your judge and all that sort of stuff, lining up. So when we were lining up, I think it was Jay was at the front, then Brandon Swan, then Ricky. So they were at the front of the line. I was in like 9th or 10th. And when we ran out, we had to stay behind everyone until our little marker on the ground, and then we could pass people. If we passed someone before then, it was a 5-second penalty. So I had to stay behind. I think I was behind Ben Fowler. So to stay behind him. And once we crossed that line, I pretty much just bridged the gap to Ricky and Jay instantly. I just sprinted off and caught up to them because they were well ahead already because they were at the front. So it was kind of annoying how they were at the front. I was like, if I was at the back, that would have been even worse. So I thought that was kind of stupid. But I wasn't trying to beat Ricky or Jay in that workout. I just wanted to stay as close as I could. I didn't want to give up any points to like Pete or whoever. Ben, I think Heckle passed me as well in this event. Anyway, started the first round. First round was fine. I bridged the gap, settled into my pace, which was like a 4:10 pace, 4:15, which was what I was trying to do in training. And came back from the run. I was just ahead of Pete at that time. Got up for the muscle ups. I did 9 muscle ups. That shows how nervous I was. I did 9 and dropped down, and the judge was like, "You've got 1 more, go back." So I did the next one. Then Pete passed me. So I was like already like, what the hell? What am I doing? Did the squats. The squats didn't actually feel that great, to be honest. I did this workout in training with a bigger bag, and it felt heavier. The bag at Torian did not feel super heavy. But I did the workout in training and the squats were fine. Now, these squats in the workout were not fine. Straight away I was like, okay, these are going to be a challenge. So round one's done, run out, I'm behind Pete. I try and settle in behind him, and then come in for round two. Muscle ups were fine, sandbag squats were fine. Then I go out for round three, and that's when my run kind of dropped off a bit, and I started feeling a bit, I didn't feel the greatest. I felt really like already cooked, pretty much, you could say. Came back in from the run. Heckle had passed me in the run, or he was right up my ass going into the venue. I did the muscle ups, went to do the squats, and I got 2 no reps on the first squats. I did one, and she said I didn't lock out, and then I went and did the next one, and she said no rep, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to drop it because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I got no repped for the second one at least. And then I picked the bag up again, and the same thing happened, no rep, and then I was kind of going like, whoa, what the hell, like, this isn't good. I was worried. Pete was finished his squats, Heckle was finished his squats, and a couple other people were coming in. And I was literally panicking a bit because I was like, what? I do not feel good on these squats. People are passing me, and I don't know how I'm going to get these done. Like, I've done 0. I've got 10 to go, and my legs are fried. Like, it was super out of it. I was just cooked. The bag felt super heavy. I couldn't hold on to it. And I just kept picking it up, dropping it, getting no repped. And then I eventually did a few, dropped it. Everyone had passed me at this point, and then I finished the squats, walked the bag forward, and I was just fully cooked. I was fried. My eyes were just like basically rolling at the back of my head pretty much. I couldn't really see. I was wobbling all over the floor. That's what it felt like. I was just dead. I had to lean over the barrier when I was running out because I was just absolutely dead, man. It was crazy. Like, I've never felt this bad in a workout ever. Anyway, I carry on running. I'm basically closing my eyes when I'm running and just opening them to see where I'm going. Then finish the workout. I basically ran straight out the tunnel straight away, and I was going to go to my bag and then just, I don't know, eat something, drink something, and then just chill because I was dead, basically go to sleep. But I had to go to the medical room. They basically were like, nope, you're not going that way. So I went to the medical room. They did some scans on me. They hooked me up to their, I think it's an ECG scanner. They put all these things on me. They put some ice on me. They took my temperature. My temperature was very high, and I don't know why it was high because it was cold that day. And normally when it's cold and I'm running or doing any sort of workout, I don't sweat as much, and it makes me feel way better. So I don't know why I overheated or whatever in that workout. It was kind of weird. It's never really happened like ever. It's normally because I'm in the sun or something like that, like at the games. But yeah, my temperature was a bit high. They did a scan. I was there for probably maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. Then they let me go, and they said you need to come back for another scan before your next event. So I went and ate some stuff, chilled, recovered. And then I started getting ready for event 2, and then this is where I basically got pulled from the comp. So I got my test, my next ECG scan done just before I started warming up for my clean workout, and the cleans actually felt pretty good. I didn't feel super bad, but who knows what would have happened after feeling like that. But I felt pretty confident, and I knew what I had to do. I had to execute, and I had to be like at least top 3 in that workout. So yeah, I started warming up. Then they came back and said the scan has come back different. You have to have another one. And this was like probably 15 minutes before I was walking out. Did another scan, and then they were like, okay, cool, you can go warm up again. but they said they'll come and have a chat with me soon, and I was like, I'm going out soon. So when I warmed up, and then one of the guys came in and grabbed me and said, let's go have a chat. And I was like, oh, this doesn't seem good, because he came back straight away pretty much. And then he looked at me and said, don't worry, you're not in trouble. So I was like, oh, okay, like maybe it's fine. Maybe they just want to talk about my results and how I feel just before I go out. Anyway, they took me to a room, and then a few of the doctors were there, and a couple of the medical staff, and Mike, who runs Torian. And they basically said, so we've had the scans back, we've called 2 cardiologists to say that your scans have come back different, all 3 of them. The first one after the event 1, the one at like 5 o'clock just before I started warming up, and then the one when I was warming up. They've all come back different. We've talked to 2 cardiologists, and they've said that there's a problem with your heart. You potentially have some inflammation in your heart, and we can't let you go out. And then I was like, okay, does that mean I can't compete? And they said, yeah, we're going to have to pull you from the competition. So I was pretty upset then. I did not expect that. I just was not thinking about pulling out or anything, which I heard some people said that I pulled out because I knew I wasn't going to make the games or something. So yeah, after the event, I was just like, man, I have made my job so much harder, and it didn't need to be this hard. But I knew I could fight back and qualify. I didn't doubt myself for a second. I just knew it was going to be a lot harder. There was no room for error, sort of thing. But they basically said, no, you can't compete. We're pulling you from the competition, and we're going to send you straight to hospital to get some more tests done. So I went back and told Shane and said, hey, I'm not competing. They've pulled me from the competition. I told my girlfriend Marnie that I wasn't competing, and then they were just like, oh, what, like, can you just do this event, and can you just see? But yeah, it was to do with my heart, so it was obviously a pretty big deal. But after they told me it was my heart and I wasn't competing, I went and talked to my dad and my mum and said, oh, like, they pulled me from the competition. And I told them that, yeah, it was something to do with my heart. But when I was warming up for my cleans, I felt some burning. I'm just going to call it heartburn. I don't know if it was exactly, but that's what it felt like. I don't know how else to describe it. I felt like my chest was like burning during the clean workout. I just kneel down and like catch my breath a bit. It wasn't like super obvious that I was in pain or anything. It was just like an annoying thing, like, oh man, like just had to catch my breath. Anyway, so I was like, okay, so that's weird that's happening, and then now they've said something is wrong with my heart. But that chest pain did happen earlier in the morning on Friday, just before I was eating breakfast. I had to sit down, catch my breath again on the couch before I had breakfast, because I got the same sort of chest pain. But I didn't think anything of it because I've never had any heart problems, nothing. So I just thought it was me being nervous, or I don't know, my stomach, something weird in my stomach. I don't know. But then yeah, that happened before event 2. So who knows what could have happened. It was probably lucky they pulled me, because they said, we don't want you to go out because you could something could flick in your heart, and it could be like serious. Like I could have a full-on heart attack, or I don't know, something. Yeah, I got driven to the hospital after that by my dad, and then they did some more tests, talked to some doctors, and then one of the guys came back. They did another ECG scan actually, and then one of the guys came back and said, so this is what's happened. Basically, your heart wasn't getting enough oxygen, and there must have been a blockage or something. Something was compressing on an artery or a blood vessel. I don't know. I was a bit like, what the hell, like. And then he said, you've basically had he said a word before this, and he said, I can't remember what he called it. He called it like a stem or a stern or something. And he's like, do you know what that is? And I said, no. And he said, it's basically a mini heart attack. You've had a mini heart attack. And I was like, whoa. I kind of laughed. And he said, no, no, it's serious. So then I was like, okay, wow. But he said you had a mini heart attack during the event or whatever. So that's what happened. So I don't know why it happened or how it happened, or super weird, but that's what happened during event 1. During the sandbag squats, I felt like I was just panicking, almost like a panic attack in a way, because I was just freaking out, like I can't move this bag and I can't do any squats with it. Everyone was passing me and I was going, what the hell is happening? So anyway, I got my tests. They told me I had to stay overnight to get some more done. I ended up staying there till Thursday night. Thursday night, so almost a week in hospital. They hooked me up to a heart rate monitor that was on me 24/7. I got a CT scan on my heart, an echo scan on my heart, and an MRI on my heart. And everything came back, nothing came back that was super serious, because they did say that if it comes back like this, we might have to talk about surgery. And I was like, there's no way I'm having surgery. But everything came back all right. I had some minor damage to my heart, and I have some inflammation in my heart at the moment. So, but I'm not allowed to work out for a month. I'm not allowed to get my heart rate up for a month. I asked if I could do zone 2. He said no medium heart rate exercise or anything. The last chance qualifier is in a month. So yeah, that brings me on to my next thing, is the last chance qualifier. I will not be doing that because I can't. I would want to, but it would be very stupid if I went against the doctor's advice while they just said I have heart inflammation and I'm taking pills for it to go away. It would be silly for me to fully send 5 or 4 workouts a week after I've gotten out of hospital to try and make the gains, where it just doesn't seem like it's a smart decision for me to do that. And I'm kind of like at peace with not making the games. Like, I feel like my body was telling me, like, you need to stop, you need a break or something, because I had a few injuries before Torian, before online semi-finals, which never happened. So I think this was my body basically saying, yep, you need to stop. We're going to give you a freaking heart problem now. But yeah, so I'm upset that I'm not going to the CrossFit Games this year, but it kind of is what it is, and I just have to deal with that. And hopefully everything else goes smoothly, because I do have another test in a month, a stress test and another MRI. Hopefully that comes back good, and I'll be cleared to get back into training and yeah, come back fitter, stronger, and not have any heart problems in event 1. Yeah, so what's next for me, since I'm not doing that, since I won't be going to the CrossFit Games, my CrossFit Games season is officially over. So I won't be going there, and this just means that I'll basically be focusing on up and coming competitions. Like, I think the main one is Rogue. There is the WFP, but I'll see, because I'm pretty sure the qualifiers are kind of soon. Probably in like a month. So I don't know about that, but I do hope that I'll be ready for Rogue. That's my next competition that I will like to qualify for. And then there's also Waterpalooza as well. There's Down Under that I could potentially do if I get an invite, because the qualifiers are in like a week or something. And then I'll just hopefully be ready for Torian next year. So yeah, that's basically everything. So to all the people that thought I withdrew from the competition, withdrew from Torian, I didn't. I was pulled out by the medical team. I was not allowed to compete. I was ready to go out there and try and smash Ricky in the clean ladder. But I was ready to fight for my game spot and make up all my points. Now I'm going to talk about where I think I would have finished at the Torian Pro, if everything went how I thought it was going to go after. So basically I finished last, I think last in that workout, and that put me on 4 points. So I had 4 points in event 1. In event 2, the clean workout, definitely wouldn't have beat Guy, but I do think I would have beaten Ricky if everything went to plan. But I'm going to put myself in 3rd ahead of Jay. So that would give me 94 points, so plus 94. And then for event 3, which was Han, I would have put myself in, I think I would have been behind Ricky. That workout was very, very good for me. And yeah, it was a short rope, so it would have been even better. Handstand walking's fine. The lunges were fine for me. I put myself in 2nd for that, but Guy was quite close, so I will give myself a 3rd for that event. What was the next one? Grisabel. I had myself in Jay. It went Jay, Ricky, Guy, and then Dante. So I'll put myself in 5th for that, because those guys are pretty fast. I do think I would have been right up there with Ricky and Guy, but I'll put myself in 5th, because I wouldn't have been in the top heat. Then we have Move It or Lose It. I do think I would have won this workout. This workout was fine for me in training. I finished it in 3 rounds. I didn't finish in 2. I do think I could finish in 2 if I didn't have any pressure to do another round. But I finished it in 3 rounds, still advancing my box and everything. And I did 22 burpees, 18 and 10 or something. So I think the same numbers as Ricky. So I do think I would back myself to have beaten Ricky in that workout. That workout was a very good workout for me. So we'll give myself 100 points right there. Now, the final, I think I would have been 5th in that one. So yeah, I put myself in 5th for that one. Muscle ups, carry, that workout did take me 3 minutes 50 in training, and I went unbroken on the muscle ups, and that was a stupid idea. So it cost me a lot of time. So I did put myself in 5th in that workout. So yeah, and then my total points, if I put myself in 5th, that's 88 points to my 380 already, and that gives me 468 points. You can see that. 468 points. That would have put me 3 points below Pete. And if I beat Pete in some workouts, he probably would have had less points, so I could have been ahead of him. Maybe. Who knows? This is just me just seeing where I would have finished if everything had gone to plan and I had executed the clean workout and started day 2 feeling good, sort of thing. But it's all hypothetical. Doesn't really matter because I'm not going to the games. Pete and Isaac are. So yeah, 468 points. Potentially could have been in 4th if I had carried on and everything went smoothly. But I could have carried on and I could have sucked in the clean workout, could have missed all my cleans, could have felt terrible, could have had nothing in my legs. Who knows? But yeah, that's where I think I would have finished. And that's the end of the video. So yeah, CrossFit Games season is officially over, which sucks, but it is what it is, and I will be back next year fitter and stronger than ever. You know, Ricky had to pull out of a season because of his shoulder, so it's not like I'm the only person that this has happened to, so it's nothing special or new. Just sucks. I just think it sucks for me. But yeah, I will be hopefully all good to go in a month after all my tests. Hopefully they come back all positive, and I'll be pretty much training for Rogue, and hopefully I will be there. I need to be there. I need to do some sort of competing against those top dudes to, I don't know, boost my confidence, know that I've still got it. But yeah, I'll be trying to get super fit so my heart does not beat as fast during any workouts. So yeah, maybe a lot of high rocks. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the messages and, you know, nice messages, comments, whatever. While I was in hospital, it means a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. It could be next week, it could be in a month, because I'm not really doing anything. But yeah, peace out. Thanks for watching.